Hello, good morning to all of you. Today's topic is Laplace's equation in spherical polar coordinates. Actually, this question is important from the examination point of view for degree 2 students. Paper 5, paper 3A, group A. In this video, first of all, we will see what is Laplace's equation in spherical polar coordinate. Then we will discuss the last part of the question, you may say tail part of the question, that is we have to find the capacity of spherical plate capacitor. So let us see. We start. Laplace's equation in potential function v is del to v is equal to 0. Here one thing you will find change, that generally potential is denoted by phi. But to avoid any confusion, I have taken here V. Potential is denoted by V. So what type of confusion? See here. Spherical polar coordinates, that is r theta phi. So one phi is here, that is itself a coordinate, and if I take the symbol of phi for potential, then there will be confusion whether this is a potential or this is coordinate. So for convenience, we have changed the symbol of potential. V, actually phi is replaced by V. Okay. So this is the Laplace's equation in general. But this equation can be written in the spherical polar coordinate as here. This is the Laplace's equation in spherical polar coordinate. Okay. 1 by r square del by del r square del v by del r plus this part. Now we solve this. Question is how to solve. We will accept, or we are going to solve this by the method of separation of variables. So there will be a technique here. What is the technique? You should know. See here, second part, r square raised theta. Third part, third term, r square theta phi, all coordinates here. So we will adopt a technique in which each and every term will be arranged in such a way that it will be variable of itself, either r or theta or phi. First term already you can see here. First term, second term, third term. So we assume that this v, that is potential function, is the function of, as you know, r theta phi. For solution, we suppose that r is the function of r only. Here you can say r capital, theta capital. Theta is a function of theta only, and phi is a function of phi only. First of all, you should not be confused here. This is capital theta, this is small theta. This is capital phi, this is small phi. So we are here, you have not to confuse. Clearly, you have to understand. Okay, this theta, capital theta, is the function of only small theta, phi is the function of phi only. And this value v, which is equal to r theta phi, actually we are going to substitute here. So in place of v we will write r theta phi. In place of v again r theta phi. In place of v again r theta phi. Okay. Now r, one thing here you will notice that if we separate here del r in the denoted, so partial differentiation will be against r, means r is differentiable here, but theta and phi will not be different, so it may be treated as a constant. So we, if they are taken out of differentiation sign, so I write here this one. Similarly, this is theta, so only term containing theta will be here and rest r phi will be outside. And here phi, del phi, so phi will be here and r phi will be outside. Now first term theta phi constant, second term r phi, third r theta. So we divide it by r theta phi. So theta phi will be cancelled out, r will be here. We actually first we multiply by sine square theta, r square sine square theta, and divide r phi theta. We get this one. After cancellation, it will be a sine square theta will be here, r square cancel out. And what is the benefit? Why do we multiply by r square sine theta and put the value of? Actually, there is a benefit. As I told you in the earlier that we are going to adopt the technique of method of separation of variables. So only one variables will be there. And if we adopt this technique, accept this technique, you can see third part. Actually, this plus is taken this side. Here 1 by pi, del 2 pi. Is r here? No. Is theta here? No. It contains only pi. And that is why we can write the left hand side depends upon the function of r and theta, while right hand side is a function of phi only. Okay. And is it possible? Left hand side is the function of two variables, right hand side is the function of one variable, still they are equal. How is how is it possible? It is possible only when if the both the sides are equal to a constant, same constant. So if we take this one m square, this is also m square. We take constant m square. So right hand side m square, left hand side is m square. So now you are clear. Question 4. Equation 4 may be written as this phi is taken other side, so it will be m square times phi and minus phi minus, actually m square phi is taken again this side, so equation will be this one. And its solution is phi is equal to cm e to the power plus minus. We have to remember the solution because we are not going to derive it completely or solve it completely. Otherwise, it will make the not lengthy. Okay, so phi is equal to this. Now we return to equation phi. See here, this is r square and this is theta. So if we change the side of the second term, it will be here. And sine square theta, actually we divide by sine square theta. Why? You can see equation 5. As I told you earlier, I repeated that we are going to use the technique of method of separation of variable, in which what I do, we make the free term from different variable. Instead, we take only one variable. So here, everywhere r, but one sine square theta is here and theta term is here. So if we divide by sine square theta, it will be cancelled out. Sine theta will come here, and that is the family of theta. So it will be like this. Okay, first we divide by sine square theta, so sine is in place of sine it is 1, and here 1 sine theta. Now we arrange this. How arrange? This term is taken here, right side. Now you can see containing theta, containing r. So we can write left side is the function of r alone, and right hand side is the function of theta alone. And again, this is possible only when the left hand side and right hand side are equal to same constant. And we are going to take the constant n plus 1. So this is n plus 1. This is also n plus 1. Okay, I think you are sure. So we proceed. Now this one, equation 1, may be written as, actually we arrange this one. How? This n plus 1 is here, and m square by sine square theta is taken this side, and this theta, capital theta, is here, and rest term as it is. Now we assume that to solve this equation, we assume x is equal to cos theta, then sine theta is equal to 1 minus x square, and if we take the differentiation with respect to theta, it will be del by del theta. We can take del by del theta and we can write it like this: divide and multiplied by del x. And here del x by del theta, from this it is sine theta. So this one. And these values are substituted here. We get the equation. This equation is associated Legendre equation. So its solution will be Legendre polynomial given by Roderick formula. So Roderick formula for Legendre polynomial is this one, and this is the solution. Actually solution is here. Again you have to remember this term. Now since x is equal to cos theta, so 1 minus x square is equal to sine square theta. Equation, this equation may be written here in place of x we will write cos theta. So see here cos theta, and it is replaced by here x, again 1 minus x square, what, sine square theta, x is equal to what, cos theta. So we put the value accordingly, this one. So this is the solution. Actually you may remember this term, the solution of theta, second solution you may say. Now we are going to see the third, so last solution containing the term r. We return here. This is your equation 8. Okay, you can see it depends only upon r, and this right side is ll plus 1r. So after changing side we get this one. Let us substitute r is equal to f per yr, and if we take the value here, the solution, final solution is this one. So this is r, first solution. This is theta theta, second solution, and this is your one solution was here. This one. So equation 7, equation 12, and equation 14. If we combine, we get the complete solution. V is equal to r theta by this one. This is the complete solution. Here we may say that if m is equal to 0, means when we suppose the potential does not depend upon phi, only depend upon r theta. So v is the function of r theta, then this term will be cancelled out, m is equal to 0. So finally will be this one. So this is the solution of spherical polar coordinate of in Laplace's equation. Now, while we were talking the answer of this question in the beginning of the video, I told you that the tail part will be discussed here. And what is the tail part? Find the capacity of a spherical plate capacitor. So how to get the capacity of a spherical plate capacitor? As you know, in a capacitor there are two plates. What is the shape of plate? Need not to say spherical. So we have to consider two concentric hollow spheres. See here, concentric spheres. How many? Two minimum. Actually, we take two because in a parallel plate capacitor or in a any capacitor there are two plates. So we take here two conducting concentric spheres of first radius A, second radius B, and B is suppose B is greater than A. So outer sphere having radius B of larger radius, inner sphere has smaller radius, and inner sphere has potential V1, outer sphere has potential V2, and potential between them means between the plates depends alone. Then the corresponding Laplace's equation is this one. So it is free from theta and phi. So first term will be here, and now we proceed. This r square is taken here, so 0 times r square will be 0. It will be here, and now we integrate this one. D by dr will be deleted here. So not deleted, but after integration already it will be vanished. So it will be r square dv by dr, and it is integration constant. Now what we do? See here, r square is taken this side, multiplication. So here it will be division. Now dv by dr. So dv is equal to dr will be here, and you can see dv after integration it will be v. After integration it will be c1 by r and minus 1 by r, and we take another integration constant c. Now our target is to get the value of C1, C2. So inner sphere has radius A, R is equal to A, and at that place potential is B. Outer sphere has radius B, where potential is B2. So V is equal to, we take V is equal to V1 when R is equal to A. So this is here. And V2, if we take V2, it is B. And now we take the difference. B1 minus B2 is equal to this one. So C1 is equal to 1. And putting this in equation 3, C2, actually it will not be C3. It will be 17, 18, 19. So correct it. This will be 19 here. By mistake, printing mistake actually. We get C2 is equal to B2 B minus B1 by B minus A here from this. And if we get C2, then V is equal to V1 plus V2. So total potential is here. Now you have to remember this for recall. Actually, you have read you. I think you are familiar with this formula in 12 in electrostatics. You have read E is equal to minus dV by dr. Potential, negative potential gradient is called electric field, and charge surface charge density by epsilon zero is equal. So E is equal to minus dV by dr, and you know V. So you have to differentiate with respect to V with respect to R to get del V by del R. We get this one. And as you know, E is equal to another value, E is equal to sigma by epsilon 0. First we use this one, and now we are using this one, is equal to sigma by epsilon 0, and this will be here. Okay, so sigma is equal to this, and now we get the charge with the formula 4 pi a square sigma. A is the radius of the inner sphere, outer is earth, and C is equal to, as you know, C is equal to Q by V. So Q is equal to this one, V1 minus V2 means the difference of potential between the two sphere. Already we have calculated here. So from this formula you can get V1 minus V2, and in this way we find the capacity. Okay, thank you.